Hello.
Hi again.
It's
How
us
are
again.
you?
Yes. So welcome to another video.
Yep.
Another collaboration between Parent Tips KE
Yes, and Papa
and
Bear.
Papa Bear.
I really like that name.
You do?
I think it's cool.
I should do a video about how that name came about.
Yeah, you should.
There's actually a story.
It's a really cool
It's a
name.
really nice story as well.
So welcome, guys.
Yeah,
Yeah. What
awesome.
are we talking about today?
So today we want to talk about how we protect our children. We love our kids. We do. We're parents, so we love them. But do we do enough to protect them and not overexpose them?
Do you mean like physical protection?
That's part of it, yes.
Yeah.
But it's more than just that. How do we protect them spiritually?
Yeah.
Do we make sure that they're not exposed even socially? Do we expose them to ridicule?
Yeah.
Do we expose them to content out there that's harmful to them emotionally?
Yeah.
And things like that. So protection is really a broader discussion than just the physical protection.
I think when you talk about that, I think a lot about the things I've said about my children to people.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's easy to say things out of frustration, like this child is just not interested in going to school.
Yes.
Or this child is very rude nowadays. And sometimes it seems okay to vent about your child, but there's a perception you're drawing about your children in people's minds.
Yes.
And if God forbid your child ever heard you saying those things to someone about them, then it would really affect their self-esteem.
Oh, it does. It does. And it also affects how these people you're talking to see your children, how they look at them. Because now the next time you go somewhere and you meet with someone in the shopping mall, they're like, oh, this is the one who you told us who... Yeah, and the kids probably wouldn't see it. They probably wouldn't experience it. But it creates an impression in the minds of the people who are hearing these stories, which is quite negative and it's not helpful.
Yeah.
It even goes to like social media.
Oh, yeah.
What kind of posts do we put up about our kids? Are they uplifting? Are they interesting? I know we tell funny stories because kids are funny. They're hilarious. They say all sorts of crazy things.
True.
Yeah, and they make us laugh. Yeah, but there are times when we say things about our children which are really not helpful or edifying.
And we have to remember that as much as they are young and they're not exposed to Facebook, one day they're going to see those posts, they're going to see those photos, they're going to see what you're talking to the world about them.
Yeah.
So it's very important for our children to feel that I have weaknesses, I'm not perfect, but mom does not expose me. And it's even easier to expose our kids to relatives, to your mom, to your dad, and the kids begin feeling like they're a nuisance.
That's true.
Everybody knows they're naughty, everyone knows their issues.
Yes, yeah. And you don't really need to know that. I mean, how would you feel if your issues are being exposed to everybody out there in the world? Those are the kind of things that bring out conflicts in marriages.
True.
So we shouldn't do the same with our children because the truth is the internet never forgets. These things will come up. 5 years from now, 10 years from now, that child will see what you said about them.
And I think I've remembered something I talked about with someone yesterday, that we need to learn to call up our children, and not always call them out. Don't always point out their mistakes and tell them, can you do this better? Can you do this better? Learn to call them up and say things like, you can do better than that.
Yes.
For example, you are responsible. I'm disappointed that you made such a decision.
Yeah.
And so your child picks up the good quality you talked about first before they pick up the criticism. And they're able to say, that was very irresponsible of me, rather than them saying, I am irresponsible.
That's
so
powerful.
Call up your children instead of calling them out all the time.
Yeah, I mean, because we think as parents that's our role, to beat our children into submission and to force them into a certain role. But you see, when we encourage them and when our discussions with them or what we tell them is uplifting, then we show them what they are. And we're giving them an impression of who they are, not who they are not, or what they have done or what they haven't done.
And we are like pointing them to who they truly are, Don't dwell on the issues.
What they did.
Work on becoming a better person. And I think children appreciate that much more than holidays. And a lot of money spent.
And fancy new things.
They'll appreciate that at the long run. When they're adults, they will not forget that about you.
And that's the whole dynamic around protection. I mean, we often think of protection in a very sort of physical sense.
Do we live in a safe estate?
Exactly. Is attacks going to come through the window.
Yeah.
You know, that's the mindset we have around protection. But protection is much wider than that. It's about how are we keeping our children safe from predators out there online. Nowadays, online, there are all sorts of crazy people out there. What kind of games are your kids playing online? You know, are we allowing them to play games where they can interact? You've heard about this dynamic that's happening with these videos.
Yes, the YouTube videos,
the
people
videos.
listening in bad messages to children.
Yeah, and that's all part of protection. You know, are you letting your kids do whatever they want and be exposed to whatever is out there?
I think personally, what I would give an example is whenever I download YouTube videos on my phone, I never allow my kids to watch YouTube videos live on the internet. I download the content they want to watch, because when it's downloaded, I can watch it. And I can control what they're watching. But sometimes when you just give them the phone and the internet is on, YouTube is always suggesting, can you watch this? Can you watch that?
Next video.
And you don't know what they're watching. So it's important that you, as boring as it may sound to watch Peppa Pig, it's important to watch Peppa Pig.
Things ring in my head.
And Baby Shark. It's important to watch the movies that you expose your children to before they watch them, because there's a lot of subliminal messages being put up on kids' entertainment.
So there's a whole, there's a whole world of content around how we protect our kids on the online, on the internet, and all that stuff. We can do a series of videos on that. But the point is really at a very deep level, how do we protect our children? How do we ensure that their honor and their integrity is upheld?
And their dignity.
Think about the things that you say about your kids. Would you say that about your spouse, or about your dad, or about your mom,
about yourself,
somebody else, or about yourself? Yet we're happy to say those things about our kids because it's a funny story. It will crack everybody up. Yet we're really just dishonoring them. We're treating them badly. We're exposing them. And we should really stop doing that. We need to be more protective of our children. There's this whole thought around, do you put pictures of your children online on social media and all that stuff? And there's a whole train of thought around that. Some people feel it's not the right thing.
It's not a big deal.
Some people feel it's not a big deal. For me personally, I try not to put pictures of my kids online. I know there's one or two on my social media, but I try not to do that. Because I just feel it's too much exposure. I don't want too many people knowing who my kids are. I'd rather that's something that's close to the people who know me. But for some people, it's okay.
Like for me, I don't have a big problem. Of course, it's important to consider what your spouse thinks about that. So sometimes I do, then after 2 days I feel bad and pull it down. But I'm learning and I'm becoming better, and I really hope that I can find a balance there. Balance for myself.
So I guess it's a decision that you have to make as parents, but the bottom line is that you really have to protect your children. And it's a lot of things that you have to think about, but you have to honor those kids. You have to treat them like like prize, like things that people who you prize, who you value, and that way you're able to take care of their interests, their emotional state, their spiritual state, their social engagements, their physical engagements. Protect your children is really the message we're trying to put in.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Isn't that amazing?
Awesome. Yeah.
So thank you guys for joining us as usual. Please like, follow, subscribe. PapaBear on YouTube and Parent Tips KE. We will be here with you guys again next week, and we completely look forward to interacting with you. Comment, give us your feedback, tell us what you think, share with us your challenges. We'll be able to discuss them here and see how we can speak into each other's parenting journey.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye.
Cheers.